Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good day. Wherever you are, whenever you're seeing this, I hope you are good. So guys, today I wanted to talk about just where we are in 2025. We are 6 months in, so let's talk about what you should be experiencing and how to know if you're on the right track for everything that we were supposed to get this year. You guys know I've been talking about 2025 since 2020, okay? I've been talking about everything that we're going to step into in this year. I knew this was going to be a year of challenges and transformation. We know 2025, 2, 0, 2, and 5 equals 9, which is wish fulfillment, finally stepping into the things that you've been wanting to step into, having your manifestations come to you. But also with that, we're in the 5th year of a decade. So we're smack in the middle of a decade, which means we're in a position of change. We're in a position of conflict. So we're in a very sticky situation where we have these two kind of opposing energies, but not really meeting in the middle, where we're being challenged to do what we need to do to step into our forever, whatever they may mean, in romance and career and ourselves and our passion and our purpose. But we're also being challenged to do the necessary things. So let's just get right into it, guys. I think the first thing that we need to be mindful of is this has definitely been a year of struggle. It's been a year of maybe struggle that you weren't expecting to struggle with, struggles that you thought you were done with that have resurged themselves. They've resurfaced, to give you an opportunity to maybe deal with them a little bit differently. So I think it's really important to, just rise to the occasion right now. That's the energy that we have right now for this year. Will you rise to the occasion? Are you willing to do something different? Are you willing to do something that maybe you have in the past been afraid to do? Are you willing to push yourself outside of your comfort zone? Are you willing to face the hard truths? And I mean the hard truths, the things that you don't want to believe about yourself, the things that you don't want to accept. How can you have what you want if you aren't willing to do those things? And I've been confronted with so many hard truths about myself, about what I want, about what I've accepted, about the decisions that I've made. And, it's definitely been gagging me, but it's also been giving me the necessary tools that I need to move forward and really get what I want. And also, we can't have one thing without the other. We can't have the car without the maintenance. We can't have the great life and relationships without putting in the work. So we have to find that balance where we're able to do the hard work, see the hard things, purge, cry, scream, release, do whatever we need to do, but also prepare ourselves and leave enough for ourselves. And that's going to be the biggest thing to remember in this season. This is going to be a season of just leaving enough for yourself at the end of your journey of healing and of purging. A lot of times we purge, we heal, we let go, and it takes us forever to shake back. It takes us forever to find ourselves again. It takes us forever to feel confident enough, feel assured enough, feel secure enough to do certain things or step into certain spaces. So it's very, very important for us to make the most of those moments right now. I think it's really important for us to tap in and connect with ourselves on a deeper level. I think it's also important with us to, just understand what healing really does to you, the healing journey as a whole. Yes, it's great and you gain all of these things, but what is it taking out of you? You don't want to neglect what healing is taking out of you. Is it making you more angry? Is it making you more impatient? Is it making you more, isolated? What are the effects of your healing journey specifically? The things that you have to look into and deal with. How do you cope with those things? How are you able to kind of shake back and, find your way back to you, or even create a new normal that has nothing to do with the old you, but a completely new normal? How are you able to do that, carrying what you've been carrying and facing what you've been facing? There's so much, there's so many energies that are pushing us forward to believe ourselves, to trust ourselves, to have hope for ourselves, to have faith in ourselves. And it's hard to do when you've been doing the hard work. It's hard to do when you've been healing and, releasing and asking yourself the hard questions and looking at yourself in the mirror, looking at your parents in the mirror, your loved ones. It can be really difficult to say, okay, now I'm ready to run this marathon. Now I'm ready to buy this home. Now I'm ready to get married. Now I'm ready to open this business. Now I'm ready to step into something new after doing the work. That's a difficult transition, so it's important to remember this year that you feel what you need to feel and you do that work authentically. You don't hold anything back, because what we can do is hold back so we don't lose too much of ourselves in the work. But the parts of you that you have to lose in the work are parts of you that you need to lose. As broken as you get in the work, those are things that need to be broken within you. Like whatever we're experiencing in our work, in our journey, in our process, we're supposed to be experiencing it. You aren't wrong in what you're experiencing. It may feel like that. Like, am I supposed to be crying for days straight? Am I supposed to be not eating, not sleeping, seeing this, hearing this, feeling this? Something can be right. But the healing journey is a rough one. It's a rough one. It's a hard one. It's a strenuous one. It's one that will keep popping up and keep triggering you in different ways. So I feel with everything that we've been presented with this year, it's like, and I've been saying, we are so aware of what we need to work on. We are even more aware this year because we're actively in conflict. We are actively fighting against our fears, our doubts, those things that have been holding us back maybe in the past, or those things that we know we're running from. Because when you think about the job, about the love, about the house, about the new body, about the new mindset, about the new whatever that you want to bring into your life, I guarantee you, as you have that thought in your head, you also have thoughts of why you can't have those things and what's blocking you and what's in your way. So we know what's blocking us. We know what's in our way. We know what we're fighting against. How can we use that as something that gives us just wisdom and power to move forward? Knowledge is power. So even if all of the things you figured out are bad or triggering to you. Now, bad is relative, but you know what I'm saying. If the things you've been learning have been painful, if it's just been stressful, if it's just been frustrating, how can you find peace in that wisdom? How can you find something to be excited about in those hard lessons? And I think it really comes down to remembering that those things are just a part of the process. It is not the entire process. And I feel like this year is about kind of giving us the opportunity to step through the door on a silver platter. Like we're getting the door, we're getting the box that we can open and step into without any obstacle. There isn't going to be anything separating you from what you want except for you, except for, have you done the work? Have you faced the work? And the work isn't stuff that we don't know that we know. Like the work isn't things that we don't know we need to do. This isn't like, oh, by the way, here are some new insecurities that you didn't know you had. Here are some new fears you didn't know you had. Here are some new, it's like, no, I've been dealing with this since back then. I've been fighting this since back then. Like the things that we are facing are things that we've been facing, stuff that has been planted in our subconscious and our spirit, stuff that we've been pushing down. These are the types of things that we're facing, things that we never thought we'd be able to conquer, people that we never thought we'd be able to meet, opportunities we never thought we would be able to have. These are the types of things that we're being presented with. So we're getting the chance to do work that maybe we never thought we were going to have to do. We're getting the chance to step into things and learn from things and heal from things that maybe we never thought we would be able to heal from. So it's such a great opportunity to create a new version of you that's stronger, that's smarter, that's more equipped to handle whatever comes your way, but also you're being prepared for something big. So are you doing the work this year? Have you been approaching, challenges with an open mind and an open heart? Have you been feeling confident about the challenges that you've been being presented with? Or have you felt like it's just been brick wall after brick wall after brick wall? How are you able to motivate yourself in these moments? How are you able to strengthen yourself in these moments? And does it make sense to you? Are you able to see the forest for the trees, or are you completely blind? That's something that I've been saying so much this year. People cannot see the forest for the trees. People cannot see the forest for the trees. Everybody is so focused on the little minuscule problem or obstacle or the small little itch, and they don't even see the huge problem beneath the surface. They can't even recognize what's being presented to them and the opportunity that's being presented to them because they're focused on this little bitty obstacle, this little bitty problem that's underlying so many other things, so we don't want to get distracted by the small things this year. This is not the year to get caught up on the small shit. This is a year to say, actually, I want to ignore the small stuff. I'm not going to pay the small stuff any attention because the small stuff doesn't matter. Those little fears are only tastes of what is really, really bothering you. Those little things and that's why we can't make it past the small stuff. That's why it's about not seeing the forest for the trees, because we're so focused on those little elements and we can't accept the little elements. We can't accept the elements. You may be, and what I mean by this, you may be in a space where you're single right now and you may hate the fact that you're single, but you being single is not even about you being single. You're not single so you can stay single. You're not single so you can be alone. You're not single so you can mope and be sappy and see everybody get loved on. It's not even about what you're experiencing being single. It's not even about that. It might not even be about the celibacy journey. It may not even be about blocking your ex. It might not be about none of those things. It might be about what you're supposed to recognize from that experience, how that experience can teach you. It may even be about, your hesitancy to step into that. If you have an aversion to certain things, it might not be about what you have an aversion to, but the actual aversion that you have, the people that you love or the things that you love. It might not be about the person or the thing, but the love that you have for them. It might not be about the specific thing that you have to release, but how you release and what that experience is for you. Like we have to open our eyes and expand our vision and see what really is happening around us and within us and to us, because we're being prepared for the forest, for the trees, for the mountains, for the valleys, for the lakes, for the rivers, for the everything. You don't want to be focused on the little bush in front of you. You want to see everything for what it is. It's not just about this one moment of discomfort or this one bad day or this one bad month. It's about everything that you can possibly take from that. And life sucks. It's hard. It's stressful. It's confusing. It's frustrating. We have to deal with things that we don't want to deal with to get where we want to get. And it's because, things have to come at a sacrifice for us to just understand and connect with them differently. And I hate that about being a human, but it is what it is. That's just how humans are. When we sacrifice and put forth effort into something and we do the work to get what we need to get, it makes it so much more real to us. It's kind of like if you win something on a game show, it's like, yeah, that can be real. But if you have to work a whole summer or a whole year or years, with an S, plural, multiple years, saving and budgeting and doing all of these things to get something, it's more real to you. It's more tangible because you know what you did to get to that point. So it's kind of the same thing. We can't just wake up and have our wish fulfillment. This is about going through the things that we need to so we can step into that wish fulfillment. So when we do step into it, it's a breath of fresh air. And we're like, oh, thank God I'm finally ready for this. Thank God it's finally time for this. It's about time, and that's how we want to feel. We want to feel like it's about time that I step into these blessings. We don't want to just be sitting, rocking in a padded room, wondering when something is going to take off, because it'll never take off if we're doing that and if we're feeling that way. So I wanted to make this video to encourage you guys and also to just check back in with you guys, because we talked a lot about what this year was going to represent as we were stepping into this year, and maybe in the beginning of this year around the spring equinox. We are a couple of weeks, if not a couple of days away from the summer solstice. Summer is going to be starting very soon. So we are stepping into a season of heat, of passion, of things rising to the surface, of, an opportunity to make some real change, like take action, like we have had the slow burn of spring, just kind of pushing us slowly and giving us those little pushes and coaxing us to, be more confident and be more, do more big girl things, like me and my homegirls, my best friends, the women that are in my life. We've been doing scary things. We've been having scary conversations with ourselves, with the people in our lives that we love. We've been challenging ourselves to do things different. We've been having conversations with ourselves about what we want and about, not doing the same things that we've done in the past, not repeating those same patterns. And, it's work. It's work to get what you want, but you have to rise to the occasion and do something about it. And you want to leave a little bit for you at the end of the day. So, don't feel like you're doing something wrong because you're dealing with everything and you feel like it's coming from all angles. This is a moment of tower moment. This is a moment of reconstruction. This is a moment of things being broken down so they can be transformed completely 180. This is a time to be set up for exactly what you want. The things that I wanted, I was settling for it. I was settling for what I wanted because I didn't think I could get what I really wanted. So a lot of my desires were watered down desires that I actually had. Like my desires weren't really my desires, but I had believed it was what I wanted because I had been accustomed to just believing that I couldn't get what I really wanted for so long. So this season has been for me about not being afraid to ask for more, not being afraid to do more, not being afraid to bet more and take a bigger risk and put everything on the line and do whatever I can to get exactly what I want. I really mean it this time because I always feel like I get exactly what I want or I ask for exactly what I want, but I've been playing it safe because I felt like I couldn't get certain things or I would never have certain things or I would never be my time to have certain things. And this year has shown me that I can have whatever I want. Period. I can have whatever I want, quite literally. And the desires of my heart aren't wrong. The things that I desire aren't wrong. They're not too much. It's not too hard. It's not too out of reach. They're my desires because it's what my heart needs. It's what my heart needs to help me fulfill my purpose. It's what I need to get the ultimate joy, the ultimate satisfaction out of this experience of life. And the ultimate satisfaction doesn't come without sacrifice or pain or struggle. I'm still going to have to deal with all of those things, but at least I'll be dealing with them, having the life that I want. And that's so important. You know, people always say you have to choose your heart and choose your struggle. It's the same concept. You know what you want. You know exactly what you want. Put in the work to get it. Put in the work to get it and rise to the occasion and do what you need to do. And make sure that after all of that work, you have to cleanse your energy, do your meditation, do your prayer, get back outside with your friends, rededicate yourself to yourself, get back into doing what you want to do, and not let the journey just destroy you so there is no celebration. Because it's kind of like preparing for something, and then once you prepare, your journey starts. Like, that's basically what this space, like, you're going through college to graduate, and then everything starts. You can't graduate and then be like, girl, graduation was so hard for me, like, I don't think I'm gonna ever do anything ever again. You know, what's the point of going through all the hard work if there's nothing left for you at the end? And that's such a basic concept, but we want to remember that more than ever now, because the things that we're having to face, it would be way easier to just turn our back on the things that we have to deal with right now. We're having to deal with real stuff right now. So it would be a lot easier to just push it to the background, not deal with it, not face it. But we aren't being called to do that. We're being called to challenge ourselves to do more and see more. And I think we're definitely going to be getting the benefits of those things and then some. So let me know how you guys have been feeling about this year. How have you guys been feeling about the challenges and the things that you've been up against? Do you feel like it's been leading you to finally make those hard decisions that you've been avoiding? Do you feel like it's been setting you up to do the hard things and step into the awakening that you've been kind of putting on the back burner? And also, just like, you know, we avoid difficult things, so does our spirit. You know, your spirit may not want to let go of the people you love and the things you love and the things you've been accustomed to, the things that we get comfortable with. But, you know, I just said that to say there's more than we know holding on to our past. There's more than you know that's holding on to your past. So we have to be really specific about letting go of those things and stepping into a new season that's going to give us what we want. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this message about what's been going on in 2025 and how we can make sure that we're just on the right track and having the right mindset. Keep these things in mind as we continue to go throughout this very transformational year. Again, let me know down below in the comment section how these energies have been affecting and influencing you guys. I will see you guys next time. As always, I love y'all and I thank you guys for being here. Bye guys. Bless.